So in this wonderful space, beginning to tune in to the body, with our awareness beginning to tune in to our body in the present moment. Beginning to feel our sense of contact with the ground. And on each cycle of the breath, especially on the exhalation, just allowing the weight to drop to the ground, having the feeling of being held by the earth. And in the meditative tradition and the yogic tradition, the mind is very connected to the breath. If we expand the breath, relax the breath, it will help to expand and relax the sense of the mind. So I thought that just as a way into the practice, into the space of contemplation, the space of contemplation that we've all set aside today, so just looking to make the most of that space, that time, committing gently to the practice. As a way into this space, I thought we could just begin by doing some pranayama breathing exercises. So the first one's called Kapalabhati, and it's really quite simple. On the exhalation, we just physically draw in the navel point. So if you haven't done this before, you can just bring your right hand to your navel point, and on the exhalation, just drawing it in. So as you exhale, just drawing in the navel point physically, helping to cleanse the body, release any excess CO2, bring more oxygen into the system. There can be a force to it, but also a sense of gentle relaxation. So the inhalation happens completely naturally after you let go of that contraction of the navel point, belly button area. The diaphragm drops, the breath just naturally comes in. And there's an aid to concentration as we do this pranayama. If you want to, you can count the breath. On each exhalation, just counting 1, maybe just starting up to 3, and then back to 1, up to 3. If that becomes quite constant, you can go from 1 to 5. And then just taking a deep breath in, just holding the breath after the inhalation. And then exhale fully. And then hold the breath after the exhalation. And then we're going to go into some long, deep breathing. So just breathing to your full lung capacity. Again, if you want to, you can count the breath just as you inhale, counting 1, up to 3 or 5 or 7. So just as you inhale, allowing the belly to expand and bringing the air up into the lungs. Some of you may have been sitting inside all day or in the office at work. This is a wonderful opportunity to expand the lung capacity, taking in more air, more vitality, more prana. And there can be a force to this breath that can begin to mimic the sound of a bellows blowing on a fire. Traditionally, this breath is called Bastrika. And I sometimes liken pranayama to like going beyond your breath comfort zones. So the more you put in, the more you'll get out of it. Going beyond your comfort zones. It might feel a bit strange or awkward. The more you put in, the more you'll get out from it. And just breathing in fully, holding the breath. And then exhale fully. And then hold the breath after the exhalation. And now we'll do one that involves pumping the stomach. And what we do is we just inhale fully and then exhale fully. And after we exhale fully, we hold the breath, but we begin to pump the stomach physically as we hold our breath after the exhalation. And then just inhaling, exhale. And we'll just do that one more time. So we're going to inhale, exhale fully, hold the breath after the exhalation, then pump the stomach. just inhale and then exhale, just relaxing the breath. So as we go through this meditation, we're going to sometimes focus on the use of sound to awaken the body, awaken the throat, awaken our center of expression. And there's one pranayama called Brahmari, which means humming bee breath. So all we're going to do a simple variation of this. We're just going to hum. So you can hum to your own pitch in whatever way seems right for you, but just every time you inhale, just beginning to make a humming like a bee sound. And as you make this humming sound, you can direct it to wherever in the body you feel like it needs to most go. And just noticing how you feel in the body, notice that sense of vibration, notice the subtle vibration of the silence after the sound. So to help to ground our awareness in the body, we're just going to do a simple body scan now. So first of all, as there's always sensation pretty much there, just beginning to move our awareness into the hands. If you can, just beginning to move your awareness to the left hand. It's very simple, just begin to notice any sensation in the left hand. And don't be too worried if your mind sometimes begins to wander. Just imagine your thoughts to be like a bird just flying around, but always coming back to the same tree, always coming back to the same island, the anchor for your awareness, just coming back to the focus, the hand. And then moving the attention to your right hand, just simply being aware of sensations in the right hand. Now just moving awareness to the feet, just paying attention to simply to the left foot, just bringing awareness down there. And just as much as possible, just allowing your experience to unfold naturally. Just being attentive and open and spacious around the flow of your experience. Now just shifting over to the right foot, paying attention to the sensations of the right foot. Then from here, beginning to draw the awareness up into the knees, just being aware, if you can, of both knees, just allowing your awareness to sense the knees. Then bringing your awareness up into the hip area. And then just allowing the awareness to drift up into the area around the navel center, around the belly, the solar plexus, that general area, which is a great seat of willpower, confidence. Connect to the digestive system, processing, fire element. And just allowing this navel center to connect to the sun energy, Surya energy. Allow yourself to be supported by the sun energy. then from here, just beginning to bring the awareness up into the heart center, just noticing how we feel on the level of the heart. You might notice it feels quite open, spacious, or quite narrow, quite light or dark. And now just bringing the awareness up into the throat center, Vishuddhi chakra. Just noticing how you feel on the level of the throat, if it feels quite empowered, or quite dormant, quite open, or quite closed. And from here, we're just going to begin to use sound again to awaken into deeper, higher states of consciousness. So just beginning to take stock of your experience so far through the meditation. And as we get into the sound, just use the sound to take it to wherever needs to go in the body, mind, emotions. Beginning the journey into sound through the sound of the drum. And if anyone would like to offer a chant, if you just let me know, put up your hand. So the Bija seed sound for Vishuddhi Chakra is hum, H-A-M, hum. So one way we can all get into sound is just through sounding that ham sound together. So if we want to join in, maybe we might be able to get to similar pitches, but the main thing is just express your way through the voice. So we're just going to make the sound ham. So resting in silence, feeling the wonderful sound in the body of the church bells, just being sensitive to experience, both internal and external. We'll just end this practice with the subtle sound of the Native American flute. So as you hear the sounds, just allow that to be a sense of movement back into the world. So just noticing the journey you've been in through the practice, the nature of your experience, if you feel different from how you felt when you began the practice, just integrating the effects of the meditation, and in your own way just beginning to move the fingers, bring more movement back into the body. And when you feel ready, just beginning to open your eyes.